Hi, my name is Alan Court, owner of the Kiddywinkles Early Learning Centres in New Zealand. Welcome to our Building Kids for Greatness podcast series, where I've had the pleasure of interviewing some wonderful people who have had experience with bringing up children, including Hollywood A-lister Vince Vaughn, our very, very popular TV celebrity and children entertainer Susie Cato, and recently All Black ex-captain Sam Cane. And today I have another wonderful guest who has been around New Zealand for some time. In fact, he's beaming in from Zurich at the moment and is on a tour with Symphony. He has been the lead vocalist of a New Zealand rock band called Midnight Youth, and that rock band actually won Best Rock Album and Best Group at the 2009 New Zealand Music Awards. A very warm welcome to Jeremy Redmore.
Kia ora, Alan. Yeah, nice to be here with you today.
Welcome. You know, one of the things that really I found very exciting was a mutual friend of ours, Susie Cato, put us in contact with each other. And what I thought was terrific is that you have all this experience with a rock band, and you have actually had a little bit of a change in what you're doing and writing music for children now and encouraging movement through a wonderful new program called Sing Along-a-Size. Can you tell us a little bit about how that all started? And I mean, it's a big shift really from rock to this.
It is a massive shift. Yes, it's hard to explain myself. I kind of fell into it during COVID. I had been writing and working on a children's picture book called Sing Like a Unicorn, which was about the idea of expressing yourself or finding your individuality through singing, which is very much how I found my individuality in life. And we made the book, and then the book is about singing, so it was like, okay, we'll make a song, and we made a music video, and that went really great. And the process of making that kind of music and tapping into the kids' music community with that music, I just really loved all of the intention behind it. I think that's the thing. With commercial rock music or commercial pop music, it's very elbows out. It's very serious. It's hard to promote yourself because you're sharing this very serious part of yourself. Whereas this process was very refreshing. And so I then released another kids song. And through doing these two songs and really thinking about that intention, I sort of fell into all of this scientific research around the effects of singing on children, both as individuals, but really where the magic happens is in group singing. And then I was like, okay, how do we get more kids singing as a group? Cool. But then I sort of found more research on the effects of group movement and synchronized movement, and I was like, well, how can I combine this so that we can write songs and create music videos to show the movement, but really construct the songs and construct these videos so that you don't need to do any practice, you don't need to rehearse things, you can just put on the video. And if your kid is paying attention, sometimes they won't, but if they're paying attention, they can have a really good go at joining in. First listen, first watch. And so the idea is that we can get kids doing this stuff straight away. And really, there's all this amazing science that has this benefits. And so I think, yeah, it really comes down to that intention of why we want to create music and art. And I want to do it right now at this stage of my life to really get across these benefits that I've had in my life subconsciously to kids from a young age.
I think it's quite wonderful, you know, that you've actually done research into the science behind it as well. And I've listened to your songs, and I have to say they are very catchy, and the children are going to absolutely love them. How does the Sing Along-a-Size weave together music and movement to assist in a child's cognitive development? Because at this stage, there's a huge amount of development whether it's cognitive or right through actually. So how does it actually tie in and weave in with that?
Well, I mean, so the way I've constructed is very much through mimicry, and the songs are call and response. So I sing a line, you sing a line, which is very established within, children's musical development and just the way we learn. And same with the videos. There's a stop motion puppet that was created in with a Mexican puppetry artist, and I had this sort of idea in my mind about this kind of possumy, mousy looking character, and Milo came out of that. And Milo is a character which then guides the kids through the movement, and they're very simple things. And the songs, for most of the songs, the subject is that movement. For example, there's a song called Jump the Rope, and you skip with your imaginary skipping rope. And so the kids are effectively jumping, doing the skipping thing with their arms, and imagining that. And cognitively, it's all about mimicry, using repetition and mimicry to develop things like word learning, motor skills, all the kinds of musicality. When kids are born, they're born with this incredible vocal range. I think all parents would have heard it through different
They do.
emotions being expressed.
Yeah.
And it's been shown that when kids start to talk, that vocal range then gets limited by the language that they learn. So some cultures' languages are more monotone, and so the kids naturally lose a little bit of their vocal range, expressive vocal range. But singing can help maintain that, and then as they get older, they can naturally have more of a more ability to express themselves vocally, especially through singing. And before you say, well, not many people can sing, well, actually, there's only, I think it's less than 2% of the population are tone deaf. Everyone else has all of the capability within their body and mind to sing.
So on that, some children, uh, they it's almost as the music's born in them from the day that they are born, and then some of them they start to develop, and I can actually see them as their confidence builds and they start to sing and everything else, and they become quite involved. So how does your program help the children who may not be probably the most fabulous singers at this stage, or is it something that just develops the more music that they listen to?
Well, I think that the idea is that the children who are more confident, they lead the way. And the beauty of the kids doing it as a group, doing it in synchronized nature, is you naturally feel like you're part of this group. You feel connected to the group. And so the kids can look around and see a few of the other kids in front of them, beside them, who are singing along, and they naturally want to join in. Especially, I think that this is above sort of 2 years old. I think when kids start to develop um, the kind of need and want to connect with other kids, because there is an age, right, where they're a bit too young. Um, but seeing those examples and being connected through group activities will encourage those that are less confident to just give it a shot because everyone else is giving it a shot. If you try to do things individually, it's terrifying.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm really passionate about is helping children develop their social skills. And social skills, if they are developed at a young age, are something that is with a child right through life. A lot of comments that we have from primary schools is that across New Zealand, children do not have the social skills from an early age, so that they're actually on the back step before they actually get moving forward. And I think with the music, that really starts to develop the social skills in terms of the group participation, the confidence level and with confidence comes self-esteem. And is that what
That's
you're
right.
finding with what you're developing?
Well, the science says that when we sing and move in a synchronized way, our brain activity synchronizes. We feel like we are one super organism. Now, what that means is for the 2 to 3 minutes of that song, we we feel part of our peer group. Now, if I can introduce that feeling to just 2 minutes in a day, especially in primary schools where kids are in their cliques, there's the cool club and all the different cliques that happen. But even younger, that can then encourage kids to talk to one another after that session. If you feel like all of a sudden you're that well connected, you can then, hey, I'm going to play with you now. You're not so different and scary because we've all been doing this cool, fun thing together and we feel great together. That's the idea. It's using that science of synchrony to say, hey, we can. The more moments of connection kids feel, the more confident they will be to actually interact with each other after those sessions.
And I think what I'm sort of getting from your sing along exercise is it's just not sing and for children to go and do whatever they want. It's that synchronized movement, or it's doing it together as opposed to just standing in a room with music's going. And it sounds like there's a lot of thought in terms of what you've done. I mean, I have three boys, and they're a bit older now, but they grew up with the Wiggles, and the Wiggles are absolutely fantastic. The music's fun. They get out there, they dance, they boogie along. But you've got a little more science in terms of what you are offering and what your program's offering in terms of developing that confidence and those social skills.
Yeah, I think intention is so important within art. It's something that I've learnt through my experience in pop music and songwriting especially, and releasing major projects is intention. If I release an album of 11 random songs, it's very hard to promote. It's very hard to come up with storylines and and different angles for the media and um, different ways to actually make it meaningful. Whereas if you start a project and really think about what's the intention here, what are we trying to create with this project? It doesn't need to affect the creativity too much, but just having an intention. What do we want to create at the end of this project? It's everything. And so this project went through a few different stages of first just being an album that encouraged kids to sing and move along with things. But then I looked more into the science and what teacher spoke to some teachers, and that teachers aren't confident teaching the kids how to do these things. And so I was like, well, how about we just make it instantly learnable,
Yeah,
or at least it's 2 watches instead of, okay, well, let's go back to that song we're trying to learn for
yeah,
the assembly in 3 months' time. It's like, well, a couple of times you've got this. Um, and
yes.
yeah, so it's about intention, and I really went hard on it. I'm a bit of a nerdy guy, so I dove into it.
A successful nerdy guy. One of the things that I really believe is that music is an international language. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world. Music just it's sort of it's one language. We are very diverse in terms of the cultures that we have through our centres. In fact, we have over 25 different ethnicities. How does your what you're doing transcend the cultural diversity with your music?
That is a huge challenge, and it's something that I would love to do more on this. And this is very much the sort of pilot project of this. There are 2 bilingual songs in this collection, and they are just Maori songs. I would have loved to have done another language in there, but at this stage, I just didn't quite have the resources to do it. Um, but the great thing about it, concept-wise, I can re-record these songs. Um, I can re-record the vocal and put different words into the music videos and easily create another version with a different language. So it's actually quite exciting to be able to think of that. I think that'll be quite simple to do. But in terms of how kids can interact, again, the call and response, even if it's in English, means that you hear the sounds of the words and you hear the melody. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I would hear a pop song. I didn't necessarily know all the words, but I would still try and sing along. And you just sort of
It's,
like,
it,
and you just kind of go with it.
I still do
Um,
that.
yeah, you just kind of have these great examples of people getting up and doing karaoke, and they go, "Are they the real words? What?"
I never sang
Um,
those before.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think kids will, if you create the right setting, they will have a go at singing it because it's literally like I sing, you sing. So the first song, Just Move, is like, if you wake up, and then it's if you wake up feeling blue, feeling blue. It's very back and forth. It's really easy. And then the movement, well, you could also say that dance transcends culture and transcends geography. And movement and dance, they're really simple. Sort of, there's one kind of complicated one. The peanut butter dance is a little bit complicated, but we want to also challenge kids a little bit musically. These songs challenge kids a little. They're not the production is pop music. It's modern pop music, um, and we want to challenge kids just a bit. So if they have a go, cool. But again, yeah, movement is that international. Everybody can have a go as well. So I think it's a good start, but we can do more too.
Well, I'm really excited to see how it develops. I know you're very busy, so I just got a couple of last questions.
Yeah.
With parents, we try to involve whānau in a lot of what our children are doing. What would be a take home for parents? How can they, what the children learn with your music and dance routines, everything else, how can they take that home and encourage the children to continue doing this?
Well, the great thing is that it's all free on YouTube, and so you can literally put it on in the lounge and do it as a family to start the day, or in school holidays when you're thinking, hey, everyone's just been on their screens for the last hour and a half, everyone's blobbing, or I don't know, that you just want a little bit of fun and energy. You can just put that on a screen in a healthy way. So the kids get to feel like they're doing something that's special, but it's actually giving them all of these physical and neurological benefits. Um, I think the other thing is observing how your kids react to how they to the music, to the singing and the dancing, and maybe there are other opportunities within their community for their kids to be involved in music and dance. Um, because again, they are such powerful ways of developing social skills and connection between kids that I think is underrated. New Zealand is a very sport heavy country. Nothing against that whatsoever. I love sport. I was a sports journalist for 20 years, but I often see an attitude where parents are like, "Wow, music, the arts are a waste of time." But socially, it's and some kids are naturally not so competitive, and this can be a really beautiful place for them to become socially aware and find their place and find their way of expressing themselves. Might not
Yeah,
be
well,
through a rhythm.
I'm 100% behind the arts and culture. I mean, that's what I did all through my growing up through with musicals and stage productions and everything else. And what I do know is it gives a huge amount of confidence that you can stand up in front of people, and that's one of the hardest things to do. And you have played to an audience of 25,000 people, which is massive. So you obviously have a lot of confidence that has been built through your music and things that you're doing. You're moving from 25,000 to maybe 20 children to do a little concert too. So that's going to be interesting for you as well. The
Tell me,
audience may
that's
not be
harder.
quite as loud.
That's harder. It's harder to do the small crowd.
Yeah.
But no, it's the energy. The energy from kids is so beautiful, and I get to play. I think that's something that I was talking to a friend yesterday about this, how when we grow up until we leave home, our parents provide so many opportunities for us to play, and when we leave home, we don't do that for ourselves
Yep.
so much. We don't give ourselves opportunities to play, and for me, this is an opportunity to play, to be with the kids, to just be silly, be creative, be imaginative, and get them do, and all through music and dance. So it's going to be fun.
And the truth is, the child in you never leaves. So I'm still a child. So, and you
No,
got to
I'm
keep
on
that that way.
stage. Yeah, I'm on stage with these symphony shows, and I am playing. I am just having fun, doing
Yeah.
silly dances, trying to change melodies, trying to express myself in different ways.
Well, we are.
If
Oh, you're just freezing there. I think I've got you back. Um,
oh, sorry.
we are. Kiddywinkles is extremely fortunate to be the first early learning centre in New Zealand to actually have you come to us. So we're honoured for that, and really looking to see how the children take on your music. In fact, they're already learning your songs in the rooms, so they're playing in the rooms, and looking forward to your visiting us all the way from Europe in a few weeks, and for your tour around New Zealand. So I thank you very much. If anybody listening to this wants to find out more, go to jeremyredmore.com. You'll be able to see his music and other information about him. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for your time. I wish you all the very best and see you in New Zealand soon.
Kia ora, thanks, Alan.
Yes, ka kite.